Uganda woke up to news of missing Dr. Kizza Besigye. He's an opposition leader in Uganda and is a full-time presidential candidate. His wife, Winnie Byanyima, took to X, formerly Twitter, and said her husband was missing and he was kidnapped. In that very tweet, Dr. Winnie Byanyima says that her husband, Dr. Kizza Besigye, is being held by the military here in Uganda. Government of Uganda has come out to say they are not aware whether he is kidnapped or he is missing. Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, who is a minister in charge of information in the government of Uganda, says government cannot deny or even confirm his disappearance, whether he is in detention of government or he is with the wrong hands. This has drawn a lot more questions on how Dr. Kizza Besigye could go missing in Kenya. He was last seen on Saturday and his contacts were also off ever since he was last seen along Riverside when he had gone for a book launch of Martha Karua in Nairobi. That has brought a lot more questions considering that Kenya has had a case in point related to the Forum for Democratic Change members who went missing in Nairobi and later on they were paraded in Uganda and charges of treason were preferred against them. Now, reliable information indicates to us that today the court-martial could be busy. Could Dr. Kizza Besigye be in position to be brought to the court-martial? If he is brought to the court-martial, which cases are going to be preferred against him? NBS will be live and will be checking on each of the details in regards to the disappearance of Dr. Kizza Besigye to get to know whether actually there is a matter against Dr. Kizza Besigye who has caused worry in the public on what could have led to his disappearance in Nairobi.
A 21-year-old Ugandan man has been sentenced to 2 years in jail over a video he posted on TikTok said to contain hate speech against President Yoweri Museveni. Entebbe Chief Magistrate Stella Maris Amabilis said on Monday, November 18th, that the 2-year imprisonment of Emmanuel Nabugodi would enable him to learn from his acts and next time to respect the fountain of honor. The magistrate added that instead of the convict engaging in gainful employment, he resorted to TikTok to abuse and ridicule people, especially the Fountain of Honor. Article 98 of Uganda's constitution says the president is the head of state, head of government, commander-in-chief of the Ugandan People's Defense Forces, and is the Fountain of Honor. Nabugodi faced 3 counts. Last week, he pleaded guilty to all of them. On Monday, he was sentenced to between 8 months and 2 years in jail for the offenses, with the sentences running concurrently. The prosecution said Nabugodi had posted content with the intention of demeaning, degrading, and promoting hostility against President Museveni. State prosecutor Paul Byamukama told the court that the suspect committed the offenses in central Uganda's Wakiso district in September 2024. The prosecution said Nabugodi posted a video showing him acting as a judge and President Museveni as an arraigned person. In the video, Nabugodi, playing the judge's role, said the head of state faced 3 charges, which are ruling Uganda since my childhood, serving as Uganda's president despite being born outside the country, and being the main subject of misleading history lessons. According to the prosecution, Nabugodi said in the video that the arraigned leader was guilty of the charges and that his punishment would be through caning. State prosecutor Byamukama asked the court to sentence Nabugodi to the maximum 7-year prison term under Uganda's Computer Misuse Act. According to Nabugodi, he was making comedy content like other people do on TikTok. Meanwhile, a 27-year-old shoe seller in Uganda was arraigned on Monday on allegations of posting demeaning TikTok content against President Museveni, his son General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and Uganda's Parliament Speaker Anita Among. The prosecution said the suspect, Juma Musuza, recently used unpalatable words to describe military chief Muhoozi. Musuza is further alleged to have said that if Muhoozi becomes Uganda's president, the country will be destroyed within 2 days. State prosecutor Janet Kitimbo said that the suspect further targeted Speaker Among with hate speech. Musuza allegedly said the speaker has used taxpayers' money to build a mansion better than Uganda's State House and also used the money to buy skin lightening cream. The suspect will be remanded until November 27, when his case will be heard. 3 other people are in custody awaiting court action for allegedly propagating hate speech against President Museveni, First Lady Janet Museveni, and General Muhoozi. In July, another suspect, Edward Awebwa, was sentenced to 6 years in prison for insulting President Museveni in a video clip posted on his TikTok account. The prosecution said Awebwa's verbal attacks on Uganda's first family were tribal and gross. 80-year-old Museveni has served as Uganda's president for 38